Hello and welcome to Shittywebcomics Weekly, brought to you by our Subscribe backers. Donate to support us and to find out the truth. The truth that they don't want you to know about. But meanwhile, just continuing with this giant series.
I know that's the thing, though, is we say stuff like that. We say it every time. There are other people who say it, but they don't mean it.
Yeah, when other people say it, they're basically just imitating. They want to pretend to be us, but they don't. We actually back up that when we are pointing stuff out and only years later everyone, like again, the Ricada thing's a perfect example, the Comicsgate thing's a perfect example, and so on, is we say this stuff and people are like, no, and then years later
That's a lot of those people are like, possibly mean what you're saying. Right. We've had people do that. You can't possibly mean what you're saying. Yes, we do.
Yeah, and multiple times over, they only realize years later that we were right, or years later, everyone else starts saying it. Like, again, exactly with Kiwi Farms. Kiwi Farms was dead wrong when we were getting it right. So, again, if you really want to know what Kiwi Farms will be saying, or any other site, 4chan, fucking...
In fact,
4chan was another great example. Poll on 4chan. Yes. They were years behind us. Stuff we said years before them, they all started saying after we told them. After they told us we were wrong, and then they start saying it.
If you follow us, you don't need to follow any of them.
Yeah, and but you can also see it in action. You can see everyone else on the entire internet. All internet culture is downstream from Shitty Webcomics. So if you want to be at the very top of the waterfall, seeing the entire rest of culture follow and copy us, then the best way is to be subscribed to us, but also to subscribe to our Subscribe Star, where we are creating the culture years in advance.
We're at the top of the waterfall, and we're watching the giant dragons fly around shooting electricity in every direction, and we're preparing our bow so that we can get some of the dragon scales or claws or fangs or whatever.
We're gliding off to harvest their fangs and claws and teeth and horns and so on, while the entire rest of the world is simply in our wake. Not even in our wake, because that would be behind us in the waterfall. They're all the way at the bottom of the waterfall, just getting our cast-offs years and years later after we have completely innovated the culture. And that all sounds like bragging or a joke, but we've shown it. You can go on to our old videos on our Subscribe Star and actually watch it happen live. Every fucking detail of it, too. So if you want to do that, donate to our Subscribe Star. Plus, it supports us. That's really the most important part. But just getting to this week's comic, this week's Smuggies comic. I don't know if I'll even do a mega mix of this, but I could. But it's just like angry guy with kind of a crooked nose, and it looks like he's maybe wearing a donkey shirt, I guess. I don't know. But he's saying, Paul is just an echo chamber. You're all too scared to leave your safe space for places like Facebook, Reddit, and Tumblr, where we ban you and silence you instantly for saying things we don't agree with. Which, again, that's one of the other things about the Smuggies comics is they're just very blunt to just get the point across, which is perfect. And right there, that sums it all up. In fact, if anything, we should be spending more time explaining to you how all of the stuff we have been saying for years is now washing out into the culture at large. So again, if you want to catch up with that, if you want to see it all happen live in front of your very eyes, donate to our Subscribe Star, to also support us. And for everyone else, sure to listen to Shitty Webcomics.